written by Brené Brown. We all do it, we all engage in the act of comparing ourselves to others, often without even realizing it. We size each other up, we compare our lives, our accomplishments, even our struggles. This is social comparison, a natural human tendency that can shape our perceptions and emotions. Sometimes we look up to others who seem to have it all together. The perfect job, the perfect family, the perfect life. This is upward comparison. It can be a source of inspiration, pushing us to strive for more and achieve our goals. It can inspire us to strive for more, to push our limits, and to reach new heights in our personal and professional lives. But it can also leave us feeling inadequate and envious. When we constantly measure ourselves against others, we may start to feel like we're never enough, leading to feelings of frustration and self-doubt. Other times, we look down. We compare ourselves to those who seem to have it worse, finding solace in the fact that our situation isn't as bad as theirs. This is a downward comparison. It can temporarily boost our ego and make us feel better about ourselves, giving us a sense of relief and gratitude for what we have. It can temporarily boost our ego and make us feel better about ourselves. However, this sense of superiority is often fleeting and can prevent us from truly addressing our own issues. However, it can also prevent us from acknowledging our own struggles and seeking help when we need it. By focusing on others' misfortunes, we might ignore our own needs and fail to take necessary actions for our well-being. The truth is, neither upward nor downward comparison is inherently good or bad. Both have their place and can serve different purposes in our lives. It's how we engage in these comparisons that determines their impact on our well-being. Being mindful of our thoughts and feelings during these moments can help us navigate them more effectively. The key is to become aware of our comparison habits and learn to navigate them in a healthy way. By practicing self-awareness and mindfulness, we can use social comparison as a tool for growth rather than a source of distress. Social comparison is a natural human tendency. From the moment we are born, we start observing and comparing ourselves to those around us. It's how we make sense of the world and our place in it. By comparing, we learn about societal norms, expectations, and where we stand in relation to others. When used constructively, comparison can be a powerful motivator. It can push us to strive for better, to set higher goals, and to work diligently towards achieving them. It can inspire us to set goals, work harder, and improve ourselves. Seeing someone else's success can ignite a spark within us, driving us to reach new heights. However, comparison can easily turn toxic. In today's digital age, where social media showcases only the highlights of people's lives, it's easy to fall into the trap of constant comparison. Constant upward comparison can fuel feelings of inadequacy, envy, and low self-esteem. We might start to feel that no matter how hard we try, we can never measure up. We may start to believe that we are not good enough, smart enough, or successful enough. This negative self-talk can erode our confidence and hinder our progress. This can lead to anxiety, depression, and a diminished sense of self-worth. The constant pressure to be better than others can be overwhelming and mentally exhausting. Downward comparison, while seemingly harmless, can also have negative consequences. It might make us feel superior temporarily, but it can foster arrogance and complacency. It can prevent us from acknowledging our own struggles and seeking help when needed. By always looking down on others, we might miss out on opportunities for personal growth and connection. It can also lead to a sense of complacency and prevent us from reaching our full potential. When we believe we are already better than others, we might stop pushing ourselves to improve. The key to healthy comparison is balance. It's important to recognize our own achievements and progress while being inspired by others. We need to be mindful of how comparison makes us feel and adjust our focus accordingly. By practicing self-awareness and gratitude, we can use comparison as a tool for growth rather than a source of distress. Social media has become a breeding ground for social comparison. We are constantly bombarded with curated images and stories of people's seemingly perfect lives. We see their vacations, their achievements, their picture-perfect families. What we don't see are the struggles, the insecurities, the behind-the-scenes realities. This constant exposure to the highlight reel of others' lives can fuel feelings of inadequacy and discontentment. We may start to believe that everyone else is happier, more successful, and more fulfilled than we are. It's important to remember that social media is not a reflection of reality. It's a carefully curated presentation of the best moments, the most flattering angles, the most enviable experiences. We are comparing our everyday lives to the highlight reels of others, and it's a comparison we can never win. From an evolutionary standpoint, social comparison served an important purpose. It helped us assess our social standing, identify potential threats, and secure resources. In a tribal society, knowing where you stood in the social hierarchy was crucial for survival. This innate drive to compare ourselves to others has carried over into modern society. We are constantly bombarded with messages that tell us we need to be thinner, richer, more successful, and more attractive. We are conditioned to believe that our worth is measured by our accomplishments, our possessions, and our social status. This societal pressure to compare ourselves is further amplified by the media, advertising, and even our own families and social circles. We are taught to strive for more, to never be satisfied, to always be climbing the ladder of success. Section 5, Breaking Free, Practical Tips for Quieting the Inner Critic. In this section, we will explore various strategies to help you break free from the constant chatter of your inner critic and embrace a more positive and compassionate self-view. Breaking free from the trap of social comparison requires conscious effort and a willingness to challenge our own thought patterns. It's about recognizing when we are being overly critical of ourselves and taking steps to change that narrative. Here are some practical tips for quieting the inner critic and fostering a more positive self-image. Limit social media consumption. Social media can often be a breeding ground for comparison and self-doubt. Be mindful of how much time you spend on social media and how it makes you feel. If you notice that certain accounts or posts make you feel inadequate, it might be time to take a break or unfollow those accounts. Consider unfollowing accounts that trigger feelings of inadequacy or envy. Instead, follow accounts that inspire and uplift you. Practice gratitude. Take time each day to appreciate the good things in your life. This can be as simple as writing down 3 things you are grateful for each day. Focus on what you have, not what you lack. Challenge negative thoughts. When you catch yourself engaging in negative self-comparison, challenge those thoughts. Ask yourself if they are true and helpful. Often our inner critic exaggerates our flaws and minimizes our strengths. By questioning these negative thoughts, we can start to see ourselves in a more balanced and realistic light. Ask yourself if they are true and helpful. Focus on your strengths. Instead of dwelling on your weaknesses, focus on your strengths and accomplishments. Celebrate your successes, no matter how small they may seem. Every achievement, no matter how minor it may appear, is a step forward and deserves recognition. Celebrate your successes, no matter how small they may seem. By acknowledging and celebrating your achievements, you reinforce a positive self-image and quiet the inner critic. Section 6. Cultivating self-compassion, embracing imperfection. One of the most powerful antidotes to social comparison is self-compassion. This means treating yourself with the same kindness, understanding, and acceptance that you would offer to a good friend. It's about acknowledging that everyone makes mistakes, everyone has flaws, and everyone struggles at times. It's about embracing our imperfections and recognizing that we are worthy of love and belonging just as we are. When we are kind to ourselves, we are less likely to seek validation from external sources. We are more likely to focus on our own values, our own goals, and our own definition of success. Section 7. The power of internal benchmarks. Measuring your own progress. Instead of comparing ourselves to others, we can choose to focus on our own personal growth and progress. This means setting internal benchmarks and measuring our success based on our own values and aspirations. Ask yourself, what matters most to me? What do I want to achieve in life? Once you have a clear sense of your own values and goals, you can start setting realistic and meaningful benchmarks for yourself. Remember, your journey is your own. Don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Focus on making progress, however small, and celebrate your achievements along the way. Section 8. Celebrate your uniqueness. Embracing individuality. In a world that often celebrates conformity, it's important to remember that your uniqueness is your greatest asset. Embrace your quirks, your passions, your individuality. What makes you different is what makes you special. Don't try to fit in a mold that wasn't made for you. Celebrate your strengths, your talents, and your unique perspective. When you embrace your authenticity, you free yourself from the need to compare yourself to others. You recognize that you are on your own path with your own unique gifts to offer the world. Section 9, Finding Contentment, shifting focus from comparison to gratitude. Comparison often stems from a sense of lack or scarcity. We believe that we need to have what others have or be who others are in order to be happy and fulfilled. Gratitude, on the other hand, is about appreciating what we already have. It's about shifting our focus from what we lack to what we have been blessed with. When we cultivate an attitude of gratitude, we begin to see the abundance in our lives. We appreciate the simple things, the love of family and friends, the beauty of nature, the gift of another day. Up to Section 10, Your Journey, Your Pace, a call to authenticity. Life is not a competition. There is no finish line, no prize for being the best, the most successful, or the most put together. Your worth is not determined by your accomplishments, your possessions, or your social media following. You are enough just as you are. Embrace your journey with all its twists and turns, its highs and lows. Celebrate your progress, learn from your setbacks, and never stop striving to be the best version of yourself. Let go of the need to compare yourself to others and embrace the freedom that comes with living authentically. Your story is yours to write. Make it a masterpiece.